Okay, I'd like to call to order the City of Camarillo Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. And Mr. Secretary, could you call roll?
Commissioner Vandermeulen.
Present.
Commissioner Murphy.
Here.
Vice Chair Lamone.
Here.
Chair Edsel.
Here. Then we'll stand for the pledge, and Mr. Murphy will lead us.
Everyone stand, hands over your hearts. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next on the agenda is the consent calendar, and we have 3 items on the consent calendar, and I understand Mr. Murphy has a conflict on item C, so we'd entertain a motion to vote on the 2, and then Tom can recuse himself, and then the remaining commissioners can vote on item C. So would someone make a motion, unless you have any comments on any of the items on the consent calendar?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, so it's been moved to consent, or to approve the consent calendar for items A and B only. Please vote.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lamone,
Yes.
and Chair Edsel.
Yes. And then for item C, I think Mr.
I do
Murphy.
have potential conflict. My civil engineering company did the site civil work for the Kidstream project, and so there's certainly a potential for conflict. So I'll recuse myself, I'll leave the room, come back when you're done.
Yeah, don't go too far. Okay, so now I'd entertain a motion for the remaining commissioners for the consent on item C.
I move to approve item C. I'll second. And I do want to say that we did look at these architecturally, the architectural review on these, and we did approve of all of them.
Okay, great. Thank you for that report. Okay, so we're ready to vote.
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lamone,
Yes.
and Chair Edsel.
Yes. Okay, then we can grab Mr. Murphy. Hopefully he didn't go too far. Welcome back.
Thank you. Apologize for the inconvenience.
Okay, and the next item on the agenda is the public comment portion. So this is the time on the agenda where if anybody in the public would like to speak on a non-agenda item. Is there anybody tonight that would like to speak to something that's not on our agenda? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment and then go right into our public hearing item D, the CUP 431 for Albertsons. And we have a staff report.
Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is Brett McMahon, and tonight I'll be presenting the staff report for CUP 431, Albertsons Companies doing business as Vaughn's Alcohol Sales. The applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow alcohol sales within the relocated Vaughn's supermarket and the new Vaughn's Fuel Mart. The proposed project is located within the Central Plaza Shopping Center near the intersection of Arneal Road and Ponderosa Drive. Central Plaza has a general plan designation of commercial and a zoning designation of commercial plan development. Moving into the project description, the relocated Vaughn's supermarket proposes to transfer their existing 21 ABC license from their old location in Central Plaza to their new one. Additionally, Vaughn's is constructing a new gas station with a convenience store outside the new supermarket, which Vaughn's is requesting a Type 20 beer and wine only ABC license for as part of the CUP request. You know, I think I missed the slide back at the start, so I'm just going to backtrack, so I apologize for that. Going back to the project location, the project site's located within Census Tract 5401. There are no public parks, schools, or religious facilities in the immediate vicinity of Central Plaza. Sorry for jumping around there. Census Tract 5401, which the project site lies within, currently exceeds ABC's guidelines for the number of alcohol licenses in the census tract. This particular site condition requires the city to make a finding of public convenience or necessity for the alcohol license request, which can be made in this case because the Vaughn's Supermarket and Vaughn's Fuel Mart is a major shopping facility which provides the convenience for customers to purchase alcohol while shopping in their establishment without the need to go to a separate establishment. Turning to the proposed operations, alcohol products and their storage will only occupy 10% of the supermarket's floor area and 8% of the fuel mart. It is important to note that the project conditions of approval will cap the amount of floor area dedicated to alcohol at these percentages. Additionally, the conditions of approval do prohibit the fuel mart from obtaining any ABC license other than a Type 20 off-sale beer and wine only license. The hours for alcohol sales will correspond with the establishment's business hours and any applicable state and federal regulations. Looking here at the floor plan for the supermarket, you can see that the main alcohol section will be in the bottom left corner of the store, and there will be additional shelving areas for promotional displays in the rear of the store as well. These locations within the store are ideal because they are all in spots with high employee visibility and traffic, and none are in a direct line of sight from the store entrance and exits. Moving to the floor plan for the fuel mart, you could see that the proposed location of alcohol sales and the storage of alcohol products will be contained in the middle back portion of the store. This location is ideal because it will have high natural surveillance from being a direct line of sight of the cashier, while also being stealth enough to not be visible from the exterior of the building. Staff finds the proposed project is exempt from CEQA under a Class 1 existing facilities exemption. Staff recommends the Planning Commission find CUP 431 categorically exempt from the provisions of CEQA and adopt a resolution approving the project subject to the recommended conditions of approval. That concludes staff's presentation on the item.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions of staff? Start with you
No,
now.
I don't have any.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, in the promotional areas, I think I saw 4 rectangles there. Is there alcohol actually sold in those promotional areas, or are they just signs? Or
There's alcohol products that will be placed there that customers can buy, and the main point of having those additional display areas is when there's high demand times a year for alcohol products such as New Year's Eve or 4th of July or the Super Bowl. They can have that additional capacity to purchase alcohol products, and it also gives Vaughn's the opportunity to have additional areas to promote certain brands of alcohol that they want to promote as part of their business.
Okay, and are those areas included in the 10% calculation?
That's correct.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Commissioner
Brought to
Vanderbilt?
mind one question on those promotional areas that are separate. do they have any plans to use those during the year for different items? Would they be switched off to different items other than alcohol, or is it all strictly just alcohol promotion?
That would be a question for the operator for Vaughn's. As
Okay.
far as we're aware of, they wanted to have this permit include those areas for alcohol sales, just so when they want to put alcohol products there, they're able to do so.
Okay.
Okay, so let's open the public hearing, and if the applicant present would like to come forward and speak, if you would just state your name for the record, please.
Thank you. I'm Joe Fiss. I'm with TW Land Planning, and I'm representing Albertsons, and I'm available for any questions. I guess first thing I'll address the question about those little extra areas, the seasonal areas there. For example, the example they used was during Valentine's Day, you might have a cooler where you have flowers and champagne and cheese and wine. So they wanted to be able to reserve that area for things like that. Sometimes during Super Bowl, you walk in and they have the stacks of beer and things like that for promotional activities. So it's gonna come and go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask staff, is his microphone on, or is it just my? Oh, it is, okay.
It's on low.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was coming through, but I'm close enough where I heard everything you said. Yeah, okay, thank you for checking. Okay, are there any questions from commissioners for the applicant? No? Yes, Commissioner Murphy.
This is just more out of curiosity. I see that it's Albertsons Companies doing business as Vaughn's. Will it be a Vaughn's when the new place opens, or will it be under another name?
The current plan is for Vaughn's.
Okay.
We're working on signage for that currently.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody present that would like to speak on this agenda item? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. And any commissioner comments or questions? Pretty
No,
straightforward.
I was pleased to see that it was a smaller amount of area for alcohol in the side store, the gas station store, in the mini mart, rather than a lot of it, so, and it's well protected, so.
I guess we call for resolution. As my understanding, are we going to vote two different resolutions? One for the finding the CUP exempt and then a resolution, or is it, we do it as one vote?
It'll be as one resolution.
Okay.
So resolution number PC 2024-9, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Camarillo, approving a request for Albertsons Companies, DBA as Vaughn's for a conditional use permit for the sale of alcohol products allowed under a Type 21 General Off-Sale Alcoholic Beverage Control License at 940 Arneal Road, and for the sale of alcohol products under a Type 20 Beer and Wine Only Off-Sale Alcoholic Beverage Control License at 860 Arneal Road in the Commercial Plan Development Zone, further described as CUP 431.
Move that we waive further reading and vote to adopt.
Second?
Okay, got a motion from Commissioner Murphy and a second from Commissioner Lamone. Please vote.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lamont,
Yes.
and Chair Edsel.
Yes. Okay, that passed 4-0 with one absent. Okay, so we move on to item number E, the IPD 413 and IPD 413M1 with Hoffman Planning and Associates, and we have a staff report.
Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is Brett McMahon, and I am the City Case Planner for IPD 413 and IPD 413 Mod 1. Assisting me with this project has been our consultant case planner, Nicole Gardner from Jensen Design and Survey, Inc. And tonight she will be presenting staff's presentation on the item.
Thank you.
There we go. Good evening, Commissioners. This is the IPD 413 and IPD 413 Modification 1 project submitted by Hoffman Planning Associates. The project site is a vacant 1.82 acre lot located at the corner of Poncho Road and Caliquetzal. The request is for a new Tesla electric vehicle collision center consisting of one 27,987 square foot building and a minor modification. The project is zoned limited manufacturing, or LM, and its general plan designation is industrial. To the north, south, and east of the project site are developed industrial parcels, also zoned LM and having an industrial general plan designation. To the west is land in the County of Ventura jurisdiction designated for agricultural use. This is the project site plan. You'll see the building shown in gray in the center of the site, the surrounding parking lot and landscaped areas in green. Whoa, okay. Sorry. That was, yeah, wow. Okay. All vehicle servicing will occur within the building. The blue arrows indicate where the vehicles will enter and exit the building. 92 parking stalls are provided. 64 parking stalls are located within the fenced area that is reserved for employees and vehicles being serviced. The red dashed line indicates that fenced area. The proposed fence will be a 6-foot wrought iron fence with screening. Oh my goodness. I apologize. One loading zone is located within the eastern vehicle entrance into the building, which is the blue arrow to the right. An existing outdoor employee area is located to the north of the building, accessed by a crosswalk across the parking lot driveway. A minor modification is proposed to allow modifications to the front setback, landscape buffer, and parking stall length standards. The front setback requirement for this project is that buildings be set back 30 feet from the property line. The proposed front setback from Caliquetzal, circled in blue, is proposed to be 27 feet, which is allowed with the approval of a minor modification. Landscape buffers are required to be 5 feet. The proposed landscape buffer width along the eastern property line, highlighted in blue, and I apologize, that's a little bit difficult to see, that is proposed to be 4.5 feet wide. Parking stalls are required to be 20 feet long or 18 feet long when a 2-foot overhang is provided. The modification proposes to reduce the required parking stall length to 18 feet with no vehicle overhang for the parking stalls that are highlighted in blue to the north of the building. These parking spaces are within the fenced area that will be used by employees and vehicles being serviced and will not be accessible to the general public. The purpose of these modifications is to maximize the number of parking spaces on site while maintaining drive access, the required access width. With the approval of the minor modification, this project will meet municipal code standards. This is the proposed floor plan. The building interior consists of an admin area and main building entrance shaded in blue. Directly above the admin area is a mezzanine. Floor plans for both of these areas will be enlarged on the next slide. Additionally, there are 18 service bays, a wash bay, paint booths, and parts storage proposed on the main floor. The 2 vehicle entrances and exits are illustrated by blue arrows. The admin area is shown on the right and consists of main entryway and customer lounge, a conference room, and restrooms. The mezzanine is shown on the left and is located directly above the admin area. The mezzanine consists of part storage, an employee break room, offices, and a conference room. Here are the proposed exterior elevations. The proposed building will be a concrete tilt-up painted in 2 shades of gray. Large windows are proposed at the main building entrance. Faux windows are proposed throughout the rest of the building. The darker gray sections of the building are inset, and the parapet has varying heights. Staff has determined this project to be categorically exempt from CEQA under Class 32 infill development projects because the proposed project would result in a development within city limits on a site no more than 5 acres. It has no endangered habitat or rare or threatened species. is adequately serviced by existing utilities and public streets, and would not result in significant effects to traffic, noise, air quality, or water quality. Staff's recommendation is that the Planning Commission find IPD 413 and IPD 413 Modification 1 exempt from CEQA review under Class 32 infill development projects, and adopt a resolution approving IPD 413 and IPD 413 Modification 1 subject to the recommended conditions of approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any of the commissioners have questions of the presenter?
Probably not from staff, possibly from the
How about you,
applicant.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, on the modification for the 18-foot long standard parking stall, the city standard is 20 without an overhang. And my question is, on the stalls that are 18 without an overhang, those are limited to that blue area that showed on the north side of the building?
That's correct.
Okay, and so then the 18-foot stalls along the east side, those have a 2-foot overhang, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And my understanding is that Public Works has reviewed that item and is okay with the 18 feet, is that correct?
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Murphy, that is correct. Public Works has reviewed it, and we don't see any issues with it. We're fine with it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Lamone, do you have a question?
No, no for the city.
Okay, so now we'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant present?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Adam Kwunga. I'm President of Hoffman Planning Associates. With me, I have members of the property ownership, Greenlaw Partners, members of the Tesla team, and our civil engineer from Kinley Horn. I want to thank Nicole and Brett for their hard work on this with us, and we're just going to open ourselves up to any questions that you might have.
Okay. Do you have a question, Commissioner?
Yes, looking at the plans and noticing in the mezzanine, the break area is upstairs in the mezzanine. I didn't see any restrooms located or wash areas or kitchen area or anything to go along with that break room upstairs.
There's restrooms downstairs. Is there? There's a conference area downstairs that can also double as a break area for the employees. It's a collision center. It's typically not going to be, staff meetings too much, so they can use maybe the upstairs area as kind of a more lounge area on an extended break, or they can use the outdoor facilities to access a kitchen or any of those type of facilities would be on the first floor, and then they can also make use of the staff room as well.
Yeah, it just seemed like there should be at least a sink or something up there to wash hands or get water or, do things if that's their regular break area. So that was just one of my thoughts when I was looking at those plans. But
Do you have any questions, Mr. Murphy?
I have one. I think they're still deliberating.
Sorry.
Oh, did she wish to come forward and talk?
Do you want to talk?
And if you would state your name for the record, please.
I'm Akanksha Bishnoi. I'm the Senior Design Manager at Tesla
Can't hear
working
you.
on this project. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I'm Akanksha Bishnoi, Senior Design Manager at Tesla working on this project. There is break room upstairs, but then downstairs we have restrooms. Along with that, we have employee sinks for washing up, like you mentioned, and then there is a flex room present downstairs that can be used as meeting room or a break area if needed.
Comments, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, on the outdoor eating area to the north, Is that already in place? Is that going to be a reciprocal use with other buildings?
I believe so, yes.
The answer is yes? Okay, just curious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions, Commissioner Lamont?
I do have one question. Are you closing an existing collision center and bringing everyone over, the employees, or is this just brand new?
This is a brand new collision center, and I'll let David speak. He
Okay.
knows a little bit more about this than I
Yeah,
do.
and if you'd state your name first, please.
Good evening. My name is David Coulter. I'm with Business Development with Tesla Collision, and very happy to be here. Thank you for your time and for the staff's time as well presenting, putting this all together. Appreciate that. No, to answer your question, we're not closing an existing facility. We will maintain our service and delivery center here in Camarillo, and then we're opening a collision center separately. We often find that bringing your wrecked car somewhere to where someone's picking up their new car isn't always a great experience. And we also realize that the collision center industry isn't exactly the cleanest when it comes to outwards appearances, hence the fence that's screened to kind of hold back some of the optics of a wrecked car. So we do like keep those operations separate. We are excited though to bring additional tax revenue and some really great jobs to the community through the addition of this collision center.
Okay, so we're adding 50,
Go, I'm sorry.
we're adding 50 new jobs to
50 to
the
60
city.
hopefully, yeah.
Okay, great. And this is owned by Tesla, or is it a private owner that's just using the name
That's
Tesla?
a great question. We own all of our Tesla facilities, soup to nuts. We want the Tesla experience that we hold so proud to come through all the services that we offer. So by opening up this collision center, we open a new service for your existing owners within your community to come to and get their cars repaired and get back on the road.
So thank you for that clarification. Yeah, I assumed that was the case, and so I was especially curious that I didn't see any chargers available to the public, it
Yeah.
seems.
Yeah, so we know that the collision industry, like I said, isn't glamorous, although we like to think of, some of these new buildings we build as the pretty girls on the block, but most of our chargers are held back behind our fenced area. We're very attuned to the fact that these collision centers are built in industrial areas. We don't want to bring customers out into areas where there might be lots of truck traffic at night or truck traffic during the day. We prefer putting our primary charging product, our supercharger product, in areas where there's services available to customers when they're charging, such as go into a Starbucks and grab a cup of coffee, grab some groceries while you're charging up, those kinds of things.
You don't have any here in Camarillo, is that right?
Not yet, no. We are always looking at our map and our ownership network to understand where we can put those points on the map and increase that amount of charging. I believe the closest supercharger is in Thousand Oaks, just down the road.
In Oxnard.
Yeah. Sounds like you're familiar with the product.
I own one.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, but it sounds like you are, that's in the works? Thank you.
So my name is Angela Sanders. I'm the real estate manager for Southern California for Tesla, in charge of expansion of real estate and infrastructure. There's a separate supercharging team who handles the supercharging expansion process, but I can't really disclose because it's confidential, but I do understand that there is full, plans to potentially expand in Camarillo. It's just a matter of finding the right location, but we are actively looking right now.
Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, I understand the criteria that you look at. I thought because this is a commercial center with lots of employees that generally go to that area. Yeah. I don't think I have any other questions. Yep.
And I had a question. Where's your next closest collision center? Is there one nearby?
So we're actively working on several projects within the Southern California area. I've spent a lot of time this week kind of going through a couple of them. We're excited for the ones that we have already in pipeline. I believe the closest one that we have to Camarillo currently is in Santa Monica. So we would be adding considerable time savings to your constituents from having to drive to either one of our Tesla authorized collision centers or to a Tesla collision center. We are looking at some properties that are a little bit closer in, but one of the exciting things about bringing a collision center to a city is we know our customers will drive into our product. And so we're excited for our customers to come into the local jurisdiction, spend their money here, have some time here, and interact with the city that they might not necessarily intend to.
And so you expect to draw customers from all over the place?
Yeah, when I actually set up most of our scheduling and kind of software to advertise where the next closest collision center is for our customers as they're interacting with their apps. And we set up a 150-mile radius on average for customers to see, oh, there's a Tesla collision center that they can take advantage of.
Okay, great. Did you have another question, Commissioner?
Well, yes, I did. Being Tesla.
Yep.
Tesla has generators, Tesla has solar things and other items. What measures are you going to build into this as far as to save on electricity or gather solar electricity or maintain constant electricity? What magic Tesla things are you going to put in there?
Well, I can't give away all the magic Tesla secret sauce, as you could probably understand. But all of our buildings do comply with Title 24. We do go a little bit above and beyond in a lot of those cases and put in state-of-the-art lighting systems that control what parts of the lighting come on during certain times of day to cut down on use. The collision industry is very aware of the bottom line and how much we invest in our buildings. And so we're looking to save ourselves as much as we can so we can pass those savings on to our customers. I think more beyond some of the more obvious energy saving items that we like to really promote are some of the green things that we do with a lot of our repair process. We use low VOC waterborne paints, which is ahead of the industry curve and much better for the environment. We're also really happy to work with a lot of the waste streams here in the local jurisdiction to recycle as much of the product as we can. That includes tech items, aluminum body parts from the vehicles themselves, and then any waste that's generated by the facility is put into standard cases of custody back to authorized recyclers to make sure that it's disposed of in a very green and earth-friendly way.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Commissioner Murphy,
I have a couple more questions. Thank
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
Chair Vandermeulen, I had the same question about, at your other center, your sales center, you also advertise your solar products and
Yep.
the batteries. So I had that question about whether you plan on installing solar on your facility.
We don't plan on installing solar on this facility. 27,000 feet is actually one of our smaller facilities. So by the time you get all of the air handling units on the roof and some of the other items for vent stacks and those kinds of things, it constricts the ability to put solar up there. As part of Title 24, though, 10% of the roof can be used for solar, and the roof is weighted for solar should we decide to add it up down the line. But
Okay.
not at this time, no.
Okay, that's disappointing. Okay. And then how long do you anticipate, what's your time frame for the building to be completed?
Yeah, I believe we're on a so about a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you plan on using local labor, organized
Yes,
labor?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
the collision industry is a very artisanal market, and it's something that requires a lot of very skilled labor. We plan on sourcing as much as we can directly from the jurisdiction here. We're also really excited as part of Tesla in growing the next generation of auto body repair. Our department within business development also works with the START program, which goes into local communities to help foster that next generation. I'd also like to introduce Henry, who is going to be one of our managers here. Will oversee the area. Henry has a long industry and a long history with the collision repair throughout Southern California, and I think he's a great example of talent that we've brought up and is managing these stores, and we tend to do that with as many people who are interested in it as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Is there anybody present tonight that would like to speak on this agenda item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And any commissioner discussion?
For me, I haven't been in a collision center place before inside. I have been in the Volkswagen research area in Oxnard, the big building when that was built. And this is kind of a miniature of that as far as I can see, as far as the racks and the paint booths and inside and all the filters that have to go with that and everything. So it was kind of brought me back to going through the Volkswagen place in Oxnard. But very similar,
Okay, and on this one, item, I believe we have an architectural review report.
yes. And we also did approve that as far as the looks and the colors and the shades go with the area. And we're using some dark and light grays with hints of red, and it looks really nice. So it'll be a nice improvement to the industrial park.
Great, thank you. So if there's no other commissioner comments, I guess we call for resolution.
Resolution number PC 2024-10, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Camarillo approving a request from Hoffman Planning Associates for an industrial plan development permit for the construction of a new 27,987 square foot industrial building and an administrative modification for a reduction in the required front yard setback from 30 to 27 feet, a reduction in the required perimeter landscaping buffer width from 5 to 4.5 feet, and a reduction in the required parking stall depth from 20 to 18 feet for the private yard parking stalls within the limited manufacturing zone.
Move that we waive further reading and vote to adopt.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Murphy and seconded by Commissioner Vandermolen. Please vote.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lamont,
Yes.
and Chair Edsel.
Yes. Okay, that passed 4-0. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, we'll move on to the director's report.
Just a brief report tonight. I'm looking forward to hosting the Planning Commission tour in 2 weeks. We'll be riding on the city's new trolley. So, very
yeah.
exciting.
Oh, very cool. That's great. Thank you. Any commissioner comments before we close out? Nope. I think we're stand adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.